Hi, this is Dr. Ben Morrill. Welcome to episode 55 of Reptile Genetics Weekly. Glad you're here. We got some more fun stuff to talk about today and hit specifically on another of our morph tests, the YellowBelly test that we're slowly making it through. We've got so many more new ones coming too. We're going to have to hit 2 or 3 a month instead of just doing a morph a month. We got continually new ones coming, and we'll talk about that a little bit today too. But as far as updates on samples and results going out, as we talked about last week, the majority of the time, if we get your shed today, you're going to have results tomorrow for all of our fast tests. And almost everything is up as a fast test, and we'll go over that a little bit more later too. But yeah, so if you have samples coming in for single or 2 or 3 genes, and they're fast testable, then you get it today, you'll have results tomorrow. So it's the vast majority of the time it's next day. And so that's happening all week this week and every week from now on. And then as far as panels, so if you're getting multiple genes tested, especially the 22 gene panel, I am starting that run actually today. And so I should have results next Tuesday and or Wednesday. So next week, we actually are planning to do a live Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Eastern. So I don't know if I'll have all the results out by that live, but we will definitely have some cool stuff to announce at that live. But if not, a week from today, we're recording on Wednesday. We should have all those panel results out. I think that's all I have for that. How are you doing, Kayla?
Hey, Ben, I'm doing well. We're going to be talking about a pricing restructure that's going to come in. So I know that sounds businessy and a little bit dull, but for our breeders, that's really exciting. We're going to be talking about it more in depth, but I think Sean was talking about something like $35 per test for some of them.
For some tests, yeah. I think the first ones that will be at that $35 mark would be Spark, Spectre, and Mojave.
That'll be cool.
But yeah, there will be several. The one I can tell you right now is any new fast tests. So like a brand new test like Monsoon, when that test comes out, that will be $60. So that's $5 cheaper than what they have been in the past. But now that we have, thanks to all of you sending sheds in to develop new tests, but then also using our testing, we were able to use that money to help us transition over to where we can fast test. And now we have pretty much everything over to fast testing. So we're able to decrease prices. So that the first way that we'll do that is with the new fast tests that come out, Monsoon, Monarch, all of those. Those will be when they first become available, they'll be at $60. So a little cheaper. And yeah. So like we have here, almost all the morph tests we have available now, we can do as fast tests.
Great.
There's only 3 that we've had available that we can't do as fast tests yet.
Yep.
And that's Orange Dream, Russo, and Enchi.
Yep.
Those 3 are coming soon. And then Monarch, Monsoon, TSK Axanthic, and GCR Axanthic, when those are available, which is very soon. And we'll talk about that next week in the live.
Definitely.
But yeah, those, when they become available, they will be fast tests to begin with. And they will be that lower price. They'll be at $60 instead of $65. So
that's cool.
But yeah, in the live, we'll talk about other tests that will be making price changes, and the price changes are all decreases. So they're good things for you. Thanking you all for helping us and getting us to a point where we can do it at a lower price, since we have the infrastructure in place and ability to, there's been a lot of scaling up and increasing our capabilities, and we're to a point now where we're pretty happy and excited for these next few months with baby season, and we want to be able to make as many good deals for y'all as we can.
Absolutely. And not only that, but we are making things faster. So like Ben said, our fast testing is literally a 1 business day turnaround now. Unless something goes wrong with the sample or we have to rerun it, it's going to be 1 day turnaround. The moment we get it, the next day you should have it pop up on your app, which whether through MorphMarket or Clutch, you'll know. We'll be able to get you that info.
And now, thankfully, since we're doing these tests every day, if we do have to do a rerun, we still will get it the next day. So that 1 to 2 business day turnaround helps take care of ones we have to rerun also. But every once in a long while, the sample, the shed itself is bad, and we'll have to ask for another shed, but that's pretty rare anymore. The vast majority of the time, we get it the first time, and every few we'll have to run a second time, and we'll get it the second time. And so yeah, that 1 to 2 day. But like we said, the vast majority of the time, you're going to get it the next day.
Awesome. And of course, our full panels are looking at about a 3-week turnaround now, and sex determination should be 5 business days.
Yep.
We talked about that last week, but we want to let people know so more eyeballs can get on that, especially with baby season coming up. So, good stuff coming around. You guys have you've been very hard at work with this. Let's see, we wanted to touch on one more pricing update before we get into the meat of today's episode. And that is regarding these guys here. So we were talking about further reducing fast testing prices for these 4 tests, Clown, Hypo, Pied, and Hurricane / Trick / Blitz, because those 3 are the same thing genetically now.
Yes. Yeah, so those ones, like we talked about last week, are already down at $50. And then, like I said, there will be some more price restructuring over the next week or so. The next Tuesday we'll be able to talk about, but these ones are already on there at $50. And then also the Blue-Eyed Lucy complex and the YellowBelly complex. We had talked with you all before about making these available where you would pay for one and then add a second, and then we would just go ahead and you essentially pay for 2, and we do all the tests for you in either of these complexes. Well, now on MorphMarket, for $90, which is the same price as it was to buy one and add a second, so the same price as before, you can still get the Blue-Eyed Lucy complex, but now you just order it you order just one Blue-Eyed Lucy complex test. I think they're calling them their small panels.
Yep.
Then the YellowBelly complex is $85, so it's actually $5 cheaper than it was before when you would pay for one and add a second. So
awesome.
So they reacted to that, saw that people liked that reduced price for doing these complexes, and made it happen. So
love to see it.
Yes.
So what about this pick 4 panel? Like people have wanted an a la carte type of panel, like since we started introducing them, and we finally have it running. What's going on there, Ben?
So kind of like what we were doing with the YellowBelly and Blue-Eyed Lucy panels, we figured out a way to make it work without having to do any programming, so we can do it right away. Like we had the voting, and people were very interested in pick 5 and pick 10, so you get to choose exactly what you want. So it's essentially a custom small panel, I guess you could call it.
Yeah.
But what we said we can do is you can pay for any 2. It doesn't matter what they are. Just pick any 2 of the 4 you want tested. And then the most important part is when you put that shed in the bag, you need to write on there in big, write pick 4, and then write out all 4 you want tested. So if you pay for 2, but you don't write pick 4 on the bag, it's just going to get run for those 2 for right now. But if it's like the YellowBelly and Blue-Eyed Lucy where we see lots of interest, then I'm sure we'll be able to get Clutch and or MorphMarket to be able to program that so that you'll have an official pick 4 or pick 5 or whatever ends up.
So it's like a low tech solution right now, but if it's popular, it'll become programmed into the system so it can be bought outright. But for now, follow these steps and you'll get a really, really nice deal for any of the morphs that we have. So you don't have to buy just a certain complex panel. So we got that. Plus, if you order 5 or more of these pick 4s, so like if you're testing 5 different animals with a pick 4, then you'll get 10% off of that, even more. So you're saving even more.
Yep. And then if you're doing more than that, send an email to that email address, raregeninc@gmail, and that goes to Sean, and he will give you a bulk discount price that will be even better. So just depending on what your specific order is, we'll hook you up.
Yeah, definitely. Well, awesome. I hope you guys take advantage of these because basically what sells, what you guys use is what we're going to invest more in and hopefully give you guys better deals in the future. So as for our main topic today, let's talk about the YellowBelly morph.
Yes. And this is one of my favorite babies I hatched out. One of those ones where you have seller's remorse.
Yes.
I loved this girl, and fortunately, but also unfortunately, the person that bought it seems to post update pictures of her a lot, and that's one that I wish I wouldn't have sold. But anyway,
no take backsies.
She's looking great still. So she's a Enchi YellowBelly black pastel calico.
Ooh.
And pretty sure she has OD too, but not 100%. So So anyway, and I don't have her shed that I can test for OD anymore, but yeah, very cool. So YellowBelly does a lot of awesome stuff and a lot of different combos, and is obviously a pretty important base morph.
Definitely.
And was part of the, so we had, piebald that we talked about very first, that the Canadian group made possible, the testing for that. And then we had these, albinos that Dr. Siddell and her students worked on at Eastern Michigan University. And after they got those done, the next thing they moved to is the YellowBelly complex. And so this is a really cool paper where they worked on YellowBelly, Spark, Spectre, gravel, and asphalt. So really cool, because that was kind of one of our questions is, hey, are gravel and asphalt really different? They look so similar. Are they actually different, or is it just the same thing? And so anyway, we were able to learn from this exactly what's going on. And over the next few more spotlights that we do like this, we'll talk about the other YellowBelly complex. But the interesting thing with YellowBelly is that even though we as breeders saw them all as being YellowBellies and ivories, we didn't notice that there was a difference. But there is actually two different mutations that make up what we call a YellowBelly. And so one of them, on the next slide, I think.
Yeah.
So we have two different mutations. One is a -1, so one of the A's, T's, C's, and G's, the DNA code, one of them got deleted to make one form of the YellowBelly, and then a different mutation in the same gene not far away is a -17. So there's 17 bases that got deleted, and both of those give you the same look. So they both made a change in that animal that looks the same. And so here we're looking at a depiction of, this is in Dr. Siddell's paper, the EDNRB1 gene, and those black boxes, that's the DNA code that actually makes something. So the protein that actually causes normal coloration. And if it gets messed up, it can cause a difference in color and tends to be more striped. And so for YellowBelly specifically, this is showing in the same black box, that specific exon. One of them has a -1 and the other one has a -17. So that's what that's showing there.
It's interesting how a deletion can cause such an increase in a color. Like, I guess the production of more yellow coloration despite a gene being deleted. Like, from a layman's perspective, I don't really think of, something being deleted causing a production of something else to increase. But genetics is so cool. So
there's a lot of different ways it can get there. It can knock out a dark color, and what fills in is more light, or it could actually knock something out that inhibits light coloration, and so then there can be more of a lighter color. And so there's a lot of different things that can happen.
That makes sense. Okay. Cool. So we have a text wall to show off. That is, all of these guys helped produce or helped contribute sheds to this study. Some of them are some dear friends of the show. see, I see Tom Harbin, who
Yep.
I need to call back. I have questions for him about some unrelated stuff.
Yes.
Hutch's Clutches. Hi, Tammy.
Leviathan Snakes is on there.
Yep. Everything's Better Orange. Eric Chung.
Andy Rose.
Ball
Ball
in
and
Hand.
Hand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're your neighbor.
Yeah. Just down the road.
Yeah.
Will Banks. Yeah, there's
Yep.
lots of people. Michael Cole. So thankful that people took the time to collect sheds. Like we've said on the show many times, we literally cannot do this without people helping. And so this is a really nice big list. Take the time to pause and read through, see how many of these people you know. Tell
Yeah,
us
for sure.
if you see yourself on here. Let us know how many sheds you sent in and which ones. If you just sent in YellowBelly or if you sent some asphalt or whatever. But yeah, that's awesome when people take an active role and help make this kind of thing happen.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so how well established is this gene?
Yeah, so for us, we've run thousands in panels. Where not every single one of them does the customer tell us everything that's in it, but a very good percentage of them, the majority of them do. And so we haven't had any issues at all with YellowBelly. It's an excellent test in our hands, and then I think the group in Canada has used it, and obviously Dr. Sadell has used it, both validating it and running samples for people, her students being able to get experience doing that. So
That's
yeah,
awesome.
A+. Since it's been published, that's what gives it the plus. It's our A+ test.
All right. So I know that when we talked about the albino and candy gene, albino candy, there's a third one in there, or the second albino gene. There
Yep.
was one albino gene that was A plus, and the other one was kind of weird sometimes. So is that the case with the yellow belly gene, or do both yellow bellies work perfectly?
Yeah. The test for the minus. So that is something a lot of people are surprised when we tell people at shows or on the phone or whatever. Like, yeah, when you pay for a YellowBelly test, we're actually testing two. We're doing two different tests. We have to look for that -1 and we have to look for the -17.
Okay.
So yeah, they do both work. They're both A+. They're awesome.
Great. Well, that's awesome. Thanks for explaining that. Oh, and just because we normally get these questions about the yellow belly gene, so since it's two genes, like they both,
Two
so
mutations.
two mutations. Sorry. Thank you
One
for correcting me.
mutation.
See, this is how like we have the geneticist and also the layman who sometimes uh who can help translate and also be corrected if things if I say something not quite accurate. So with it being two different mutations, if you like, do you have animals that are visual yellow bellies that are, they carry just like they both work together, or do both of those have to be present? Both mutations have to be present in order for it to be a visual yellow belly.
So if you have an animal, which they did in that study, and then we've
Yeah.
seen ourselves, if you have an animal that has one copy that's the -1, that's a
Mhm.
YellowBelly. If it has one copy that's the -17, it's also a YellowBelly, and they look similar. If you have an animal that has two copies of the -1, it's an ivory or a super YellowBelly.
Hmm.
If you have an animal that has one copy of a -1 and one copy of a -17, it's also an ivory that looks the same. That doesn't have any different characteristics.
Interesting. Okay.
What I've never seen and what they did not show in the paper is an animal that has -17 for both,
Hmm.
just because the -17 deletion is less common than the -1. So like I would say in the last 2 months, I haven't seen a single -17 come through.
Oh.
Everything that's been YellowBelly has been -1. But it does happen. Like I've seen at least a couple dozen, over the last couple years. So they're
Yeah.
out there, but there aren't as many. So that would be kind of interesting. I would imagine if we ever do get a -17, an ivory that has both copies -17, most likely it's going to look the same, but technically no one can say because neither us nor Dr. Sadell, at least when she published it, it could be different.
Yeah.
Maybe something's come through, but but yeah, the majority of the time you have a -1 and one copy of -1, it's a YellowBelly, or two copies of -1 and it's an ivory. But if you do have one copy of -1, one copy of -17, it's also an ivory that you can't tell it apart from the ones that are double -1.
Interesting. Okay. Thank you for answering that. And if you guys
Yeah.
have any further questions about that, definitely let us know in the comments and we can pop in and clarify later. Or if it's interesting enough, we might even like dedicate another episode to it. So awesome. Thanks for that, Ben.
And if there's any of you that have a lot of YellowBelly and you want to try to make it -17, let me know and we can help you make sure we select a couple of parents that have -17 and see if we can produce one and see
That would
what
be
it is.
cool.
So let us know if you're interested in giving it a try.
Yes, please. I mean, even if there isn't a difference, I'd like to know what one looks like, even, just to see if there is something special there.
Yeah.
So next we have our shed donor shout out, which we've been doing every week here. And this week it is RP Reps.
Yes. So thanks so much. RP Reps was one of our very first customers when we started offering tests, morph tests.
Mhm.
And he's sent in lots of sheds, not only for paid testing, but also to help develop new tests. And one of the morphs that he works with quite a bit is blackhead, and he sent in a whole bunch of super blackheads, and so that's another thing. Next week on the live, I might be able to. Well, I don't know. It's another week of data, so I don't know. Maybe next week I'll say, never mind, we don't have anything to say about blackhead. But as of right now, that's a chance that next week I'll have something to say about blackhead, and so that'll be something I know he's excited for, and several other people. There's been other people who've sent in blackhead samples, and so that's been awesome. But yeah,
That'll be cool.
he actually also did a raffle back when we were first starting to get money together to do the whole genome sequencing on the ball python. Been instrumental in us being able to develop new tests. So thanks so much for not only buying tests and sending in sheds to develop new tests, but also putting an animal up as a I think it was not an auction, but a raffle.
A raffle?
Yes.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
did put up an animal for a raffle, and that was really cool of him. And thanks so much. And if you have any interest in, he does a lot of YellowBelly complex mutations, clown, desert ghost. I got a calico. Actually, the YellowBelly that I showed earlier, that black pastel Enchi YellowBelly calico girl, was offspring from a female I got from RP Reps. So
That's cool.
A lot of really cool stuff. So check out his MorphMarket and give him some
Definitely.
support.
Yeah, no, scrolling through his MorphMarket, because we always try to do that for our shed donor shout outs, unless we have like some pictures they wanted to show off. Which, you can be a part of that later on if you send us an email at Rare Genetics Social. That goes straight to me, so we can make you a part of our next shed donor shout out. But anyway, check out their MorphMarket. RP Reps has some really beautiful eye-catching animals on there. This whole row, I was like, okay, I got to put them on the stream or on the video. But they're really cool. They look really healthy and just really, really high quality. So definitely go check them out. And they've been awesome to us too. So
yes,
awesome. Once again, shoot us an email if you want to be a future shed donor shout out. And I reckon that's a wrap for today.
Yeah. Thanks again. Appreciate it so much. And we'll keep coming more tests and faster, and here before too long, a little cheaper as well.
Yes. And don't forget to tune in next Tuesday. We do have a live stream where we're going to be talking about how we're restructuring and how you can benefit from that. So thank you guys. And, the usual spiel, like, subscribe, comment. It tells us that it tells the algorithm that we're really cute. Help get our name out there to other people in the reptile world. So thank y'all, and we'll see you next week. Outro in 3, 2, 1.